morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I saw you, Mickey. You woke up with that good morning. And I knew I had to put some energy in it. It is another week of the Triple Threat Podcast. We are 31 weeks into this. And I feel like every time I say which week we are into it, I keep baffling myself with the fact that we're still sort of committed to this.
Sure.
Or that we've managed to stay committed to this.
Yeah. Man, because like the Summer Blues, man, I am being burnt and burnt out. But we are here. We're back at the recording desk or table, and the mic's in front of us regardless.
Yeah.
Now, our favorite segment, and the best segment, quite frankly, the Hometown Heroes.
Our hometown is killer these last couple of months, man. Even the Blades, they made the playoffs. They did that push. Now you got the Mambas that...
The Mambas and the Berries are ending the regular seasons strong. And I think that's a bit of an understatement. Well, so we'll start with the Mamba. They end their season winning the last 3 games. They beat Niagara 94-83. They beat Edmonton 107-97, and they beat Calgary 96-80.
And let's not state, too, if you take away that Winnipeg Sea Bear loss that we had, which was a decent game,
Yeah.
we are 6-1 in the last 7.
Just absolutely insane push. The Mamba end the season 13-11 and ranked the 4th best team in the league. Now, of course, there's only 10 teams in the league, but when you're ranked the 4th best and 2 of the top 3 best are in your conference, that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot. It does kind of shove you into that 3rd place.
It's that
seeding.
whole Avalanche, Dallas, and Minnesota.
Yeah. And just another league where the West is king, I guess. Now, looking back at the last 3 games from this week, as we said, 94-83 win against the Niagara River Lions on July 29th. TDM put up 28 points and 8 assists.
Yeah.
Nearly a 30-point double-double. Monsanto. Damari Monsanto. Your guy, Miggy.
Oh, yeah.
Your guy. This is a guy we picked up like a week and a half ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago.
I will not lie. My first and original guy, and he's still my OG. Like, TDM, like, I'm short. He's short. He made it to CBL. I wish I could make it into whatever I was in high school, which was a lot. But just seeing a short guy show that he's able to play basketball with these tall, like 7-footer guys,
Oh my goodness.
is amazing. But Monsanto, man.
He's so fun. Absolute flamethrower of a player.
Yeah.
Just steps on the court, practically pulling up from the midcourt line, and you're just like, that's money. It's going in.
Yeah, but like the funny thing is, his number is 12, but when he started, he was 14. Like, so his first game, they didn't have a jersey for him.
Yeah, I think it was like a same day signing.
Yeah.
So they didn't get a jersey.
So I'm pretty sure his number was either 14 or 16. It was a 1 and something.
Yeah. I love
And we were there for that game, and both me and you were like, "Who is this guy?"
who is this man?
And then proceeded to drop 32 points.
Oh
that
yeah,
game.
he just walked onto the court off the bench, mind you. Didn't even start that game. He hasn't started any of these games.
No, it's all off the bench.
He's just coming in. So he puts up 25 points on 5 of 8 shooting from 3 points from beyond the arc against Niagara. Now, this was a kind of a wire-to-wire win. I mean, we've just had Niagara's number the whole season.
Yeah.
There was that game where we won, 104-77?
Oh, yeah.
Something like
I
that.
don't think they want us to talk about that.
No, the Mambas set the target score 93 when they were ahead 84-72, and Monsanto hit the game-winning 2-pointer.
It was
Now,
a beauty.
This was a fun game. This game was played at the Sastel Center, and now normally, if any of you have been paying attention, we only have tickets to the Merlis Belcher games. However, and bless my manager at work, she had free ticket vouchers, so we got to go see this, and we got to sit not courtside, but right behind the courtside seats. And when I tell you that we could hear the coaches and hear the players complain, and the fact that there were 3 technicals in the first quarter, that stuff's electric.
And let's not kudos to that lady behind us. She called 3 River Lions crybabies the whole game. And I'm pretty sure she thought it was the same guy. But
pretty sure. No, I guarantee she got it. Because partway through the 4th quarter, I snicker at it like for like the 12th time, and she leans over to you just like, "You like it? That's pretty funny, right?" I'm like, "It's so funny every time you do it." And she's just like, "Oh, he's a crybaby. And I'm like, ma'am, I think you've called 3 or 4 of them crybabies. And she's like, well, I'm still right. One of them's going to be...
Oh, I will say she's completely right about that number 4.
Oh, yeah.
He was when I mean complaining, he makes Caillou look normal.
The bald-headed demon?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Fun game. A solid win. July 31st, the 107-97 win against Edmonton. Now, this game had some importance to it. Interconference game. This was also the game that clinched the Mambas' 3rd seed.
Yes,
Because
you're right.
the Mamba and the Edmonton Stingers were kind of jockeying for that 3rd and 4th seed in the West. Now, mind you, before this game, Edmonton would have had to have beat the Mamba, won their last game, and then the Mamba lose their last game for Edmonton to get 3rd.
Yeah.
But it felt good, the Mamba going into this game in Edmonton and just clinching 3rd place.
Now,
No doubt.
mind you, this was the first away game that me and you actually sat down and watched.
Oh, yeah. For anybody listening, CBL streams all of their games on CBC Gem and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, super accessible.
Yeah.
We got to watch it from home. The stream was a little tough, but hey, I mean, free viewership, I will always be a supporter of that.
And it makes it so that they can grow their audience as well, right? You want to start in a way where you're able to grow your audience fast and make it accessible for them.
Now, on top of clinching 3rd in the West, TDM, 30 points. The little man with the big scores. Jameer Chaplin, Chappy Boy, puts up 20 points and 7 rebounds. So some solid plays from that. That's actually the game where TDM put up probably one of the nastiest highlights of the season.
Are you talking about?
I haven't seen a guy touch earth that fast in a while. Like, put him on skates and said, Neil, you proposing to me right now. Watch this floater go in.
He crossed this guy so bad and then shot it and didn't even look at his shot going in and started running backwards. Like, I don't know the player that got crossed.
I don't think he wants us to know who he is.
But might want to get a little break and check them knees.
Look, man, statement play in a statement game.
It wasn't an ankle breaker. His knees are gone.
Mamba set the target score again in this game at 106 when they were ahead 97-91. TDM with the game-winning 2.
Now, you got to think about it this way. 97-91, okay, 6 points. And then we went 107-97. So like
we went 10 and 6 in target score time.
So we played good offense and we had decent defense and didn't make it too close.
Yeah. And the last game of the week, the 96-80 victory over the Calgary Surge. We went to go watch this game. This was a rest your starters kind of game. I haven't seen the Mamba play this many of their bench guys, but it was kind of a treat. Because you got to see guys who usually only play maybe 3 minutes a game. Maybe 5 if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Right? Some guys really just sort of like got in there, got to play.
Except for Monsanto.
Yeah, Monsanto's practically a starter. I wouldn't have complained if coach rested him. But Monsanto played and he put up 24 points and 7 rebounds. the brother came in and he kept shooting the lights out. But just to kind of like really emphasize just how many players got to play and how spread the scoring was, Monsanto put up 24. Our next highest scorers were 2 guys with 10 points each.
Yeah, everybody was on. Even like their 2 big men that usually sit a little bit more.
Easton Tim was one of the guys, number 55. I know we're not super big on him because he struggled a little bit, but he had a solid game.
Yeah, I will give it to him. He's had a solid game. I've made it clear when we're at games I don't really like the guy. But last game, he had a solid game.
He put up a really good, I think it was 7 points. I mean, he nearly dunked on a man. And quite frankly, I thought he got hacked a few times.
Yeah.
So, good on him. But the 2 10-point scorers were DeAndre Bernard, who's a guy I think we picked up in the last week. Because I hadn't seen him on the roster at all.
Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, like, I liked how he played. He was calm. He didn't try to force too many things. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, he got the 10 points that...
He got the 10 points, and a little foreshadowing, he actually hit the game-winning 3-pointer.
Yeah, that too.
Now, the other guy who put up 10 points, Jaden Clayton. This guy has kind of been our backup point guard, and it kind of took you and me until sort of the end of the season here to actually, like, figure out what his name is, because every time the announcer said it, it's like, Jaden Clayton. They're like, what is it? We just knew him as number 6.
No, we knew him basically as the Flash.
To be Energizer Bunny.
Dude, he was when him and TDM are on the field together. It's just,
They're so quick. But he puts up 10 points and 13 assists.
that's a potential 26 points or more.
This guy turned to coach and said, "It's okay. You can rest TDM. I got this. I'll get everybody else involved." Absolutely electric guy. But yeah, Mamba set the target score at 94 when they led 85-74, and then DeAndre Bernard with the game-winning 3. So solid end to the season. I'm really excited for the postseason. Now, this game was also pretty cool because it was fan appreciation night, and to end the regular season, they allowed the fans to come down and get stuff signed from the players.
Yeah.
The number of players kind of hung around.
And have you recovered from that one, Chris?
I'm recovered. I don't know. I'm still kind of giddy. I still feel like a bit of a little kid. You know, they were having a 40% off sale on jerseys, so I bought a Mamba jersey because I only have the Rattlers one. You got the Mambas one, and I was like, okay, now I have a Mamba's jersey. And then one of the ticket manager guys, or sort of one of like the management, kind of came up to me and it's like, "Oh, you can get that signed after the game." And I went, "Oh, I'm not wearing this ever."
Oh yeah, we both looked at each other. We're like, "This is getting signed."
I'm getting signed, and I'm going to Michael's afterwards to get a frame.
And this is how it worked. So, Chris had the jersey, and I was just calling out players. Chris would get his jersey signed. I'd be like, "TDM's over there. Clayton's over there. Coach is over there."
Oh man, but yeah, no, got signatures from most of the guys. Even got to sort of like speak with some of the guys too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wonder what just sort of like bringing up a little compliment or just like bringing up something that they did in that game and how some of these players, like, just their eyes light up and they're like, oh, okay, he's not here just to, you know, get my signature. He's like, actually, right? Like I got to fist bump some of the guys. It was great.
I had a fist bump Swish.
Yeah, I was wearing the Rattlers jersey. Swish was like, you're the man. Dude, I walked up to Coach Fox.
Oh, that conversation was hilarious.
That was so funny. Like he's like talking to some other guy, like none of the fans around, and I'm like, "Hey, coach, could I get your signature?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." Turns around, starts signing the jersey. I think he just wrote "coach" on it.
I think so.
But you know, I made a comment of like, "Man, you're a great bench boss. It's fun watching you make decisions." And he turns to me and goes like, "Yeah, you know, like I make the decisions, and half the time they go exactly as planned, and the other half of the time they." I don't like swearing on this podcast, but I will make an exception for this just because of how funny it was. But he turns to me and goes like, "You know, sometimes it don't work, sometimes it kind of a little bullshit, but it gonna work anyways." And man, he's so fun. Like I got to Dap Mom, got like the half hug from it. Like absolutely cool guy. But to go back on your point about, you know, TDM being a small guy, some of these guys are massive.
Oh, okay. I am 5'9", 5'10" a good day if I'm wearing my work boots.
Chris is 6'3", 6'4".
I am a proper 6'3", not quite 6'4", but like I'm a proper 6'3". I felt like a child.
He felt how I felt when I look at Chris.
like I kid you not. I thought the only guys down there that were gonna make me feel short were like the big men, like freaking Jaden Bediako. No, everybody made me feel short. TDM was the only guy that I kind of looked down on. But because you know he's 5'7", but even Jaden Clayton, our backup point guard, he looked down on me. He's 6'4", you know, or you know 6'3" out of the like outside of shoes or something, maybe like that. But like Chaplin, Bandu, Townsend, Monsanto's really tall too, weirdly enough. But you don't realize just how tall NBA, but not NBA, but like basketball and professional basketball players are until you stand right next to them. You're like, oh.
Huh. You're a freak of nature, huh?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I would not have made it.
Then you look at TDM and you go, I got a shot.
No, but see, I look at TDM and he's like, yeah, he's 5'7" now, but like he got all of like the guard skills and whatnot. So like he has the skills for the small guy. When I was playing basketball, I was the tall guy because I hit 6 foot and 6'3" really freaking early. So they're like, here's all the big man skills. And now I look at professional big men, I'm like, yeah, no, I need to grow another 10 inches to make any use of these skills. But enough about me fangirling for now. Mama do end the season at 13-11.
Which is their best season so far.
It is their best season in seasons. This is actually the first time the Mamba are going back to the postseason since 2019, which was the CEBL's inaugural year. And
we took it all.
Yeah, and back when we were still the Rattlers won the championship that year.
We took it.
We have not been to the playoffs since, but bit of a management change, bit of a face of the franchise change, and we're getting back to the postseason this year. We will be going up against the Winnipeg Sea Bears on August 6th.
Now, I do want to.
Yeah, August 6th.
I do want to mention with the Winnipeg Sea Bears, they did have a pretty
incident
in downtown Winnipeg. One of their starters,
Teddy Allen, who, mind you, I think is like the top scorer.
Yeah, he is the top scorer. He just did that 56-point game a couple of weeks back. He got assaulted physically and is in the hospital right now. And Winnipeg police is being very cooperative with the CEBL on trying to find who did that. I was not able to find more information because that's kind of my kind of stuff that I'm interested in.
They did make a statement that they weren't going to really report anything more.
Yeah, that on that. So,
but he's in the hospital. He's getting treatment.
Yeah.
Prayers to the guy. You never want to see that happen. I know a couple weeks ago I kind of said, "Oh, he was public enemy number one because of the game against Winnipeg," but you never wish this on anybody.
No, there's no
place for
violence in sports. So the Winnipeg Sea Bears, I personally want to say sorry for that happening to one of your guys', especially as important of a role as Teddy Allen plays. And I hope you guys all the best.
Now, with that sort of more somber moment out of the way, just a couple more stats with the Mamba, just sort of going into the postseason here. I want to specifically call out TDM. He set 2 records this year, 2 CEBL sort of single player, single season records. He put up the most assists, like the most assists, like not per game, but sort of in total, by a player in CBL history, and also set the record for most 3-pointers made.
He did that like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, no, it's been about a week and a half, even 2 weeks since he set these records.
Okay.
So let that be a lesson to everybody out there. It really don't matter.
Small guys.
Yeah, if you really put your mind to it and you work through the adversity, quite literally anything's possible.
Yep, for sure.
So again, the Mamba will be facing Winnipeg on August 6th. That'll be in Winnipeg. That is a single elimination game. If the Mamba do happen to win that game, they will be playing the loser of the Edmonton Stingers against Vancouver Bandits game, which will also be played on the same day, August 6th. The subsequent game, if the Mamba were to move on, will be played August 8th.
Okay. Give time for travel.
Yeah, give a bit of time for travel. Give a little bit of a break between games, especially since these are single elims. I don't think anybody is going to be holding anything back.
Nah.
This is going to be literally push for your life.
I'm going to watch this game just to see Bediako's reaction to getting fouled.
Oh, good. I love the guy. I spoke with him a little bit, kind of like, we had the thing coming of like, I used to play big man. He's a big man. Like, told him like I really appreciate how he plays and like the effort he puts in. And he was the one who brought up the sort of comment of like, oh, like I gotta fight the refs because if I'm not going to, who else is going to do it? It's like, I'm like, you know what, Jaden, I like it. I like it. Now going to our other hometown team that is currently playing, the Saskatoon Berries. They are literally at the end of their season.
Yeah.
They had 7 games this past week. They played on 6 days, but there was one day where they had a sort of a double header because of a game that got rescheduled.
Okay, they finally rescheduled that one. Okay.
So July 28th, we do lose against Medicine Hat 7-9. July 29th, a 17-4 win against Medicine Hat. So I think we were a little upset.
Of course.
Like a little doesn't really.
Whenever I see the Berries win in these score sheets, it's never small.
No. There is a reason that the Berries have the highest run differential in the league, and it's by like 30.
Like they lose by like 1 or 2, and then they win by like 17, and you just go.
I think in the almost 50 games, was it 54 games? They are plus 179 run difference. They win on average by nearly 4. And that's just average. That's taking into account the losses and the big wins.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. July 31st, 13-2 win against Swift Current. August 1st, 14-5 win against Weyburn. We have scored 17, 13, and 14 in 3 games. Apparently, the Bears just play mad. Now, they did end the week with a triple header against the Regina Red Sox, and it was a bit of a rough swing. So they lose 5-7 against Regina on August 2nd. This was a game that was rescheduled from July 2nd. So then the actual game that they were supposed to have on August 2nd, they win 8-7.
Hey, there's your tight game with the win.
Yeah. And then because the Berries, are just known for high scores, but not against them necessarily, they just had to end the week on August 3rd with a 5-13 loss against Regina. So, not a bad week. Bit tough though. Bit tough though. 4 wins and 3 losses in 7 games is not what you want from a top team in the league.
Well,
You're thinking more 6-1, 5-2, right?
yeah, but at the same time,
Especially against some of these teams.
They played 2 games the day before.
Yeah, these are bottom feeder teams for the most part, right?
Right.
So coming out 4-3 is a little tough. Because last week we were kind of saying, Saskatoon could make run for that first seed in the Eastern Conference of the Western Baseball League, and kind of fight for it against the Moose Jaw Miller Express.
And now they basically locked in second.
Yeah. So they come out of this past week 37-17. The Moose Jaw Miller Express sit at 40-14. And the Berries only have 2 more games. They play the Weyburn Beavers on August 4th, and then the Moose Jaw Miller Express on August 5th.
Moose Jaw Miller Express is just such a goated name.
We mention it every time, and I have no issue with that. It's so good. Now, I'm not quite sure how the postseason works. It might, because this league is kind of the college players' summer league.
Okay.
It might just be sort of like single elim games.
Okay.
Because the postseason schedule so far for the Berries that has already been posted, they have a game against the Regina Red Sox on August 7th.
Okay.
So I have a feeling these are like single elim games into a championship kind of thing. Same thing with that the CEBL has, as the WCBL also has 10 teams. And 5 teams in 2 conferences. Now, the Blades, again, still on hiatus. We're waiting until end of September. The Rush are also still on break. It'll be a while until they get started. With that being said, I think Miggy's ready to get into some hockey.
Yeah, I'll start with some PWHL. There's just some slight announcements. Minnesota Frost signed 5th-round pick Daria Gretzin to a 1-year contract. So she will probably be playing this year. And as you remember, Minnesota lost a lot of defense to their expansion.
Yeah.
All 4 teams just picked off Minnesota as well as Montreal. So
2 of the top teams in the league. Not
exactly. So I'm not surprised that they're going to be signing these picks.
Yeah.
The Fleet signed a 3rd-round pick, Leah Stecker, for a 3-year contract. So she'll be in Boston unless she gets traded. But I think Boston's going to want to keep her pretty close. And then Kara Gardner-Murray named new head coach of the Vancouver Golden Knights. I know I like to make jokes about Chris being a Vancouver guy. All jokes aside, I know that basically any Vancouver team needs support.
Oh yeah, it is my baseline roots.
Yeah, exactly.
I kinda have to.
So, she is a very good coach, and she'll probably help. Your team out
Well, the
quite a
Eagle Eyes didn't have the best of seasons this last year. Like they kind of played more spoiler than they did actual contender.
Yeah.
So a nice change of scenery might be a good change of pace. A coaching change is always a very polarizing kind of decision.
Damn, you're good, because that set me up for Boston Fleet hiring a new assistant coach.
Oh, more coaching staff. Moves.
Derek
I like it.
Whitmore got named the new Boston Fleet assistant assistant coach. You can't be assistant head coach because that's just assistant coach.
That's just interim coach.
Basically,
when they just take on the whole thing.
He has made a statement that he is more than glad, and he wants to help Boston win a cup, like they all do. Every time you join a new organization, they're always like,
"We want to win a cup.
I want to bring the championship. I want to run this league." Sometimes it takes them 3 to 5 years. Sometimes you're the Montreal Canadiens, and it happens overnight. But here we are.
I know that professional athletes are trained on, this is how you answer the press.
Yeah.
These are your go-to answers. Here's your cheat sheet. Every now and again, I really appreciate when they throw in like It's a little curveball with their answers. Like, it's like, oh, you're the new head coach or new assistant coach or whatever for this team. What are your aspirations? Not be last.
Or make it to postseason.
Make it to the
Torts.
playoffs.
Torts. Tortorello, the head coach. He was with Philly. He was with Vegas
Vegas, yeah.
for their run. He is the most like. So what do you feel about being last? That's such a stupid question. That's Torts. He is known for it. He makes it clean, simple. He's like, oh yeah, how you feel about that loss? Oh, I felt really well. Losing 7-1 really made me feel great. And you're like, I mean,
You got a point.
he got it coming at this point.
You have to appreciate like press and reporters and analysis, especially in the sports world,
Yeah,
because they do kind of have to ask stupid questions.
yeah.
They do, like, by their job description, have to kind of set themselves up to be absolutely roasted. But man,
Some of these are
Man.
just bad. How do you feel about the 7-1 loss? It's a 7-1 loss in hockey.
it's like, hey coach, your defense allowed the other team to shoot 80% in the first half. What are you going to do to change things? Play defense.
Or rep on the new one. I don't know. Like,
Anyways, to get back on track before we go into another rabbit hole, there was a trade. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm a big Montreal guy.
No, really.
Is a small like AHL trade. Sasha Pastujov is going from Anaheim to Montreal, and Montreal is sending Sean Farrell to Anaheim. Now, signings. We have a big one this week. We have Celebrini. He signed 5 years, $94 million contract, which brings it to 18.8 average annual value, which makes him the highest paid hockey player right now at the age of 20. Or 21, sorry.
He's worth it, but I don't know how you fill out a decent enough team around him.
Yeah.
Like, that is so much capital to
Just
be
wait.
shoving at him.
The Sharks aren't done because they signed Colin Graff at a 3-year, 12.75 million contract for a 4.25 average annual value. They're gonna need a lot of guys like these with the contract they just.
But the thing is four and a quarter like average annual is still a lot for one player, right? Like, you need to be looking at like these two and a half kind of things.
But you
especially
need to kind of find like,
especially giving out 19 a year to Celebrini.
And then Pittsburgh Penguins signed Thomas Novak to a 3-year, $13.95 million, which brings him to a 4.65 average annual value. Now, I'm doing this, and if me and Christian share the same brain cell, he will be doing it later. Here are your unrestricted free agents that are still available. Forwards, you got Vladimir Tarasenko.
That surprises me. How old is he?
34.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's not grandpa level, but he's definitely uncle level.
He's up. He's
Yeah.
up. He's pushing it.
But he still got some kick in the.
Oh yeah, it's Tarasenko. Like, he's still there.
Patrick Laine. He might retire after this year.
Yeah.
There's been rumors that. I've heard a rumor that Vancouver wants him. I don't know if Chris actually wants him.
Here's the thing. That Vancouver team is still very young.
Yeah.
They still need a veteran presence.
But he's not a vet. He's like 28.
That's vet enough, though. That's
Yeah,
the
fair.
thing, right? I just don't know how much he wants.
Yeah.
Like at 28, he can still ask for quite a bit, and Vancouver's not in the position
And-
to really giving that much for a non-proper star.
Oh, you're completely right. If it was Patrick Laine in his first 2 years,
Oh,
in a
100%.
heartbeat.
100%.
Now, the other rumor I heard was the LA Kings are very interested in him. That me and you shared that information on the trade deadline, that there was a rumor that he was going there as well. Michael Bunting, he is still a unrestricted free agent. He's very good with the puck. He has a wicked shot when he finds his spot. Eli Tolvanen from Seattle, David Perron, Adam Henrik, Jonathan Drouin. These are just the forwards.
Yeah, and these are some, I'd say, big names, but they are getting to like tail end of careers.
My dad had it in such a good way. When I was younger, he used to say, "They're falling stars."
Yeah.
So they're stars, but they're on the shorter end. Now Bunting's still young, Tolvainen's still young, but Adam Henrik, I think he's like 36.
Yeah.
Jonathan Drouin, he's like mid-age in the hockey world. So like, we don't have a lot of young guys, but
These are guys that can produce.
yeah. On the defense, we got some younger guys. We got Logan Stanley, we got John Klimberg, we got Carson Soucy, and we got Nick Blackenberg. I'm not gonna lie, Nick Blackenberg, whoever gets him, he might just be a Trojan horse.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at Logan Stanley and Nick Blackenberg here as kind of double WTF. Like, why are these guys still free agents?
Well,
Kind of thing.
Nick Blackenberg is still a little young.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Stanley, I will agree with you. He's 25.
It's still very young.
Yeah, and he's shown like he's a big physical.
Oh yeah.
Like we've watched highlights of the Jets when he used to play on the Jets, and just absolute like you're not going around him when he decides you're not going around.
No,
him.
he's a freight train, and
Yeah.
while still being young, it means that he can push that body,
Yeah.
right?
Then you got your goalies, and I know you know every single one of these goalies. You got James Reimer, Optimus Rhyme, as he used to be called. Peter Mrazek. You got Connor Ingram, which played hero in Edmonton for a couple of weeks, and then kind of
Then became Stuart Skinner the second.
basically. And who can forget Cam Talbot?
Well, apparently the signings can forget him.
Apparently,
Like we all know it. I'm very goalie biased here. I love my psychopaths in the net.
oh yeah,
Cam Talbot is probably a year, if not less, out of just retiring.
I would sign. So teams that would need him would be like, let's say Blackhawks. They got Spencer Knight, young goalie, a veteran goalie to help them take the extra step.
Here's the thing about goaltenders just as a position. They are even more susceptible to the degradation of age.
Yes.
Right? The moment a goalie hits 30, either they are the third string, they are retired and are coaching, or they're just retired. Or they are an all-time great that somehow has the body to keep going.
Bobrovsky.
Yeah, like, so I don't mind a goalie being signed as a veteran presence, but not as a backup.
Yeah.
Because the thing about backups is you're still expecting 20 to 30 games from them.
Yeah, nowadays it's 20 to 30. They can't run goalies with like 70 games anymore.
You can't
Not
run
at
them
this
into the
high
ground like you
pace.
used to. So, as much as I love Cam Talbot, right? Like he's one of the guys. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. Peter Mrazek is an interesting one to me though.
He's had good years, but he's had bad years.
Yeah, like he's that kind of goalie where you know his name, but you don't quite know what you know his name for.
Yeah.
Right? Because you look at the name, you're like, I recognize that guy, but you're like, good, is he bad? And you're like, yes, all of it. You know?
What year?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not sure how old he is. I don't think he's like super old.
I think he might be 30.
Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking late 20s. So,
Yeah.
so he has a couple years still to give.
Yeah.
I don't know if any team's willing to take a chance on if those are going to be good or bad years. You know? Now, Connor Ingram is... I would not be surprised if he is not picked up here in free agency and is signing on like a qualifying deal mid-season.
Here's my issue with Connor Ingram. When he played with Utah, he had a 4-week period where he had 4 shutouts. And 2 were on a back-to-back last year. No, the year before. So he played 1 game, got a shutout. And then they were like, you know what? You got a shutout? We'll give you the second to back-to-back. Which rarely happens to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And then got another shutout.
See, that's great, But you also have backup to backup to backup when teams' first two goalies get injured and the freaking has to come in and he puts up a shutout in his period of work on 5 shots.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing about goaltenders. If you have a great week, that's fine and dandy.
But can you have a season?
Yeah. Right. Like that doesn't matter if the rest of your year is crap.
Yeah.
Right. It's the consistency is the definition of inconsistent.
Yeah. Now, for the people who don't know, there's a difference between restricted free agents and restricted. Now there's 5 people that I've zoned in for
other
this
teams
restricted
have to
free
put a
agency,
offer sheet,
Chris,
and
and
either has
Carter
time
Gauthier
to
is the biggest name
match
right now,
or let the
because
player go.
especially
now, if they let the player go,
with that whole
other team has to compensate.
hostile
and usually
offer
it's
from
with
Philly
picks,
to Leo Carlson for the
on
Ducks,
what
and the Ducks having to
ever-
match because they obviously didn't want to let go of Leo Carlson. Well, that's a massive $18.5 million contract a year, which kind of put the Ducks in a tight spot. So with them accepting to match that offer, it only really gives them about $9 million to sign Gauthier. And in my opinion, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah,
if
no
Carlson
kidding.
signed for 18.8 and Gauthier did 2 points less than him, he's probably gonna be like, "Look, man, I kind of wanted to bag too, you know."
Yeah, that whole situation has kind of just set not just the Ducks up, but the league up for what players are going to be expecting
Yeah.
now suddenly. And it's not like there's a cap increase that's coming along with this. This is just straight up, oh, he's getting paid that much. Where's my bag?
Yeah.
You know?
Now, another player that I have paid attention to just because I've always liked his playing style is Adam Fantilli, is also still technically up for grabs, as you can say. He hasn't signed a extension with Columbus, and means that teams are still allowed to offer him a sheet. Now, the third person, and this is kind of because it's close to home, and he played a really good end of season. He's a physical boy. He has a nice shot. Zachary Bolduc is up for a extension. I think Montreal's going to lose him. I love him, but we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Now, on the defense, Simon Edvinsson from Detroit needs a contract, as well as he probably wants out now that his captain was like, "Hey, yo, I want out." And now Alexander Nikishin. We've heard this name before. We heard it because he got that severe injury in the board during the playoffs when they played against Ottawa, if I am not mistaken. He is up for grabs. He's a physical boy. He is a very good passer, in my opinion. So if Carolina lands him again, good. If they're not able to, whichever team will get him, in my opinion, he is for sure a top 4 defensive pair. Now, we've been talking about basketball. We've been talking about the NHL. We've been talking about the PWHL, the Berries, the Rush, the Mamba.
I didn't know we had a recap segment.
I am so stoked that the NFL is back. I have been waiting patiently for my Rams to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, usually I want to be the bearer of bad news and say not happening, but
Looking at
I
that roster,
I literally can't even disagree.
Especially with even more rumors of Darren Arnold coming into the game.
That's great, and I'm glad that you think that making an evil raspy voice is going to increase your odds.
Anyways, we do have 3 signings before we go into this. Zay Flowers did sign a 4-year, $140 million contract with the Ravens, with $108 million guaranteed, which means $32 million of that is just bonuses and potential. Bijan Robinson, the running back for Atlanta, for a second there, I thought that he might not get his extension, but he did get a 3-year, $66.75 million contract. And then the Chicago Bears did sign Darnell Wright, which is a right tackle, which they need to keep him because last year the Bears I find personally kind of struggled in their O-line and D-line, so keeping their big guy is an important must. And they signed him for 4 years, $116 million contract. So hopefully these players are able to keep producing at the level they are producing. Now, August 6th is the first preseason game between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. It's kind of bottom dwelling.
I was about to say, so nobody's going to want to watch that.
Well, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panther fans are. You know how bad that is for Carolina? Like, oh yeah, Stanley Cup, bud. The Carolina Panthers.
That is a rough turnaround.
Now, here are the power rankings according to NFL writer Ralph Facciano.
Vacciano.
Oh, I said it right. I'm getting good at not butchering names, people.
No, you still butchered it.
I said it slowly, okay?
Yeah, there's your issue.
So,
Okay, hold on. Is this the list?
yes.
This is the power
for the,
ranking.
For the top 10.
Are we sure there isn't a typo?
This is what Mr. Ralph Facciano said.
Okay.
So apparently, according to this NFL writer, Broncos are first. Rams and Seahawks are second and third. Patriots are fourth. Eagles are fifth. Bills are sixth. Jaguars are seventh. Ravens at 8. Chargers at 9. And Bears at 10. Why are the Jaguars on this list?
Why are the Jaguars there? Why are the Broncos first?
I would
Why
have
are the Bills as low as 6?
I don't even follow NFL.
Okay. I'm going to say my power ranking.
Yeah. Rams.
No.
Rams.
So I have no problem with the Rams and the Seahawks being 1 and 2.
Hmm.
That's I feel those are the two teams that
Dude, I'd even push the Seahawks at 3. Just because they didn't really upgrade that much over the offseason.
So Rams and okay. No, I'll stay Rams and Seahawks at 1 and 2. I'd put Eagles at 3rd, Broncos at 4th, Bills at 5th.
Yeah. I could agree to that.
Okay. Now here's where it might get a little but whatever. Patriots at 7th, I'm okay with. They did have a weaker schedule last year, so I am kind of excited to see how they're going to do this year.
If they're actually a decent team or if they
Yeah.
just fluked their way to the final.
So Patriots at 6th, right?
7.
7th. Okay. Ravens at 8. I got no issues with it. Chargers have shown last year that they can be good, but they've shown they can be.
No, it is Patriots at 6. And then you had Ravens at 7. Because you had Rams, Hawks, Eagles, Broncos,
Patriots.
Bills.
Bills, and
Patriots.
then Patriots. Yeah, and then so then Ravens at 7.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Chargers being at 9 then. But at 8, I would honestly, and hear me out, the 49ers.
I was about to say the same thing.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. The 49ers are how do I put this nicely? They are in a tough division.
They are unlucky to be in the division.
They
that
are
they're
very
in.
unlucky in the fact that half of their division just happens to be top 2, top 3 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Right? They are the sufferers of unfortunate circumstance.
For sure.
But the 49ers could absolutely play spoiler. You know, it's not like they're playing the Hawks, the Hawks and the Rams every week. So
No, they only play them 4 of their games.
yeah, well, sucks to be third in your division, I guess.
Now, with their preseason started, our season has already started in the CFL.
Dude, it's been weeks since it's already started. We don't need to open up with that. We are going. We are mid-season, man.
Hey, man, week 9.
We are mid-season.
Week 9. Week 9. 9-9.
Lions win. That's
Not
all I
like-
care about. That's all I care about. I don't care about any of the other scores.
Dude, the Lions win while putting 377 rushing yards.
Look, we ran them into the ground.
Your QB had 160 yards on 10 carries.
We grounded the Blue Bombers. They thought they'd fly over us. We ran them into the ground.
Horvath had 191 yards on 17 carries with 3 touchdowns. Lion receiving corps had 8 receptions for 99 yards. Your QB had more rushing yards than your receiving court had passing yards.
Hey, man. Any way necessary.
Now, I'm going
Win's
to
a win.
keep doing these stats before we go into the game. The Blue Bombers' Oliveira had 107 yards on 19 carries. Bomber used a total of 8 players in the air assault. Out of the 8 players, only 2 players had achieved 50-plus receiving yards, which is T. White with 51 yards on 5 receptions, and his longest was 32. And O. Wilson with 67 yards on 4 receptions, with his longest being 37. Now, after seeing both their longest, it's kind of not all that impressive.
Yeah, they really didn't do much else outside of
Now-
their single longest catches.
Chris.
That is my name.
Buddy.
That is not my name. Do not.
Your
call me buddy.
Lions could have showed up in the fourth quarter and win.
Oh, yeah.
They scored 25 points in the fourth quarter.
This was a close game going into the final frame.
The Bombers were up 19-13 with 5 minutes left in the game. And then a long pass to convert a touchdown for the Lions. And then they went for a 2-point conversion and succeeded. And then they had a fumble recovery in the second minute that Horvath was able to turn into a touchdown moments later because they recovered it in your 35-yard line.
Yeah.
Like Cinderella story for finish.
No, just 5 minutes of fame.
Or that.
Okay, you have to understand. Cinderella story is a March Madness thing, and that's a lot more than this.
It's a whole
But
yeah,
the Lions get their second win of the season. We double their victory count.
You know who doesn't have a win this season?
Ottawa.
The Red Blacks lose against the Bird 34-13. They are 0-7, and you cannot win if you put up zeros in the second half.
Hey, our last week's stats came true.
Yeah. No. See, Miggy, you and I had a moment a couple days ago between Ottawa's CFL team and their CEBL team being named the Red Blacks and then the Blackjacks.
Yeah.
I don't know how our Ottawa citizens, our Ottawa brothers, are feeling right now, but the Blackjacks just stressed them out to barely clinch a playoff spot, and the Red Blacks are literally not even playing
If you
football.
watch the highlights of that game, you can see multiple fans with a paper bag on top with the eyes cut out saying 07 question. Now, Montreal went for 500 total yards. 420 were passing. Montreal's Philpott and Snead had games. I mean, damn! Philpott went 184 yards on 9 receptions, while Snead went 174 yards on 8 receptions. And on top of that, Alexander, which is Montreal's QB, went 22 of 30 on his completion with 3 touchdowns.
It's just a stat pad of a game.
Yeah.
Now, some of Ottawa's players had good games. Hardy went 77 yards on 6 receptions. Eberhard had 69 on 6. And Pippleton, Chris's favorite, had
That's just an
61
unfortunate name.
had 61 yards on 5 receptions. And
He's got a
then
ton of purple.
Look, man, if we want to talk about names, I got to go back to the NFL and the fact that I finally get to see Casey Conception potentially play again.
he actually got injured.
Oh, come on!
I saw that right before we started recording. I was like, damn. And then OT's. When I say OT, it's just Ottawa. They don't even need OT, honestly. I think OT just be an embarrassment. Their rushing yard, it was a figment of their imagination, basically.
Non-existent.
I think they rushed for like 60 yards combined.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Montreal only rushed for 80 yards. So
But who needs rushing?
Who
We
needs
got
rushing?
420
20 on
yards.
pass.
no, I know. I'm just saying if you look at the vacuum comparison, they ran about the same. It's just that they threw the ball into the ground instead of through the air.
Yeah, fair. Now, Stampeders beat the Ticats 44-20. I didn't know how the Ticats did not win when they had 15 more total plays, 19 more yards, and 7 minutes more of possession time.
It's called being inefficient with what you've been given.
The Ticats split up most of their rushing game between 3 players. Jay Augustine with 41 yards on 5 carries, T. Ford, which is their QB, with 52 yards and 4 carries, and Roundtree III with 63 yards on 12 carries.
Why are we giving him the ball 12 times if he's going to average less
5
than
yards?
5 yards? Actually, no, not less than. A little more.
A little
than
more
five,
than
but
5.
like, what
There-
makes the sense?
The job of a running back is to get you second and short.
I know that that's their job.
But that's
But if they're averaging
Yeah.
5,
If
means
they're
that-
averaging 5.25, like,
it means that they're
a
going
reception.
between 2 to 3 yard rushes and the occasional 8 to 11.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, Wheatfall had 59 yards on 2 receptions. Well, that's pretty stellar, in my opinion. Now, Calgary, other than D. Mills, the rushing game didn't amount to much. It is worth to mention, though, McAllister only had 2 carries, but went for 21 yards. So that's 2 first downs, basically.
Solid.
Brissett had 109 yards on 6 receptions. Now, we know that T. Philpott is J. Philpott's twin brother.
Mm-hmm.
T. Philpott, let's run this the stat again. 184 yards on 9 receptions. J. Philpott had, drumroll please, 1 reception for 7 yards.
So did they just forget that he played on their team? Or
Eh?
not much of a sibling competition in this game? Which
Yeah.
is really weird because the last time these two teams played, both Philpotts had solid games.
Yeah, they did,
I
which
guess
is insane.
I guess they should just shied away from them.
Yeah, and then the Riders and the Elks played as a rematch from last week. Back to back. I was as surprised as you were, and I got my revenge. I was pretty.
I got
happy.
my loss.
It's like you're happy.
Dude, you need to
he's
lose out
happy.
the rest of your season.
I know!
But we had no MLS. He was injured, which gave the room to Duncan Busby, which he had 66 yards on 4 receptions. Johnson had a kick return that was almost a touchdown, 87 yards in the first quarter.
Okay.
So Edmonton scored, and then they kicked it off, and then Rough Riders almost just scored right back. This game was gritty. It had some flair. There was some tension. It was something. Tommy Stephen continues his dominance in the red zone with another 3 touchdowns. Edmonton A. Mac. That sounds kind of cool. A. Mac. Anyways, 77 yards on 4 reception. Jaboom
Oh yeah, we were talking about
is
this
the
guy.
best
earlier.
name I have heard for a defensive guy. Edmonton's Jaboom had 9 tackles and 1 sack. He went
The pure terror of Jaboom running out of the line of
scrimmage.
scrimmage straight at your QB, and you're like,
Jaboo.
oh no, I'm about to get jaboomed. Make it a verb.
And then, as well as Edmonton, Rankin had a 28-yard on 8 carries and 48 yards on 2 receptions. I like teams that use players for rushing and receptions. Sorry. Because it kind of shows who's a Swiss Army knife and who's just a one-trick pony. Now, Edmonton could have closed down this game in the 3rd period, but they had a fumble. So
The hockey really came out of him there, huh? 3rd quarter, but
I know. And then you said that, I was like, damn. So they could have closed the door in the 3rd quarter with a fumble recovery, but they got called on a foul. Now, Chris, would you like to try to guess what this foul was?
the foul.
Yes.
So like they
Edmonton
reco-
recovered, but also fouled.
Oh, so
during
then
the-
please tell me it's like a roughing the passer or something.
Too many men.
No way,
Yeah.
really?
Edmonton got canceled, basically, of a win because of a too many men call.
That's rough. That's really
That's a
rough.
ru-
That's a
You
really Rough Riders kind of play, you know.
That's what I was about to say. That's a
I-
rough
you know,
ride.
I feel like you'd be really familiar with that kind of foul call, huh? There, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now talking about okay, so for context, too many men on the ice for hockey is 6. The Riders sent 6 men to the QB in the last 3 plays to make sure that Edmonton was not passing the ball and ensuring the win.
Oh, just
6
just
lined
straight-
up, 6 went. All-line went. What do I do now?
6-man blitz. I love it.
Now
I love it.
week 10 games, which is the week coming up, we have Argos versus Stampeders, the Riders versus the Red Blacks. I swear, if we are the one, I will never let it go. The Birds would be versus the Elks, the Ticats versus the Lions, and Winnipeg have a bye.
I really love the emphasis you put on duh
The
birds every time you say it. Like, I'm over here like, I know it's Alouettes. I would assume, well, for those listening, if you don't know, those are the Alouettes. But the amount of emphasis you put on refusing to call them the Alouettes, duh birds. Like, damn, okay. Who hurt you? Their beaks?
Hope.
Hope hurt you. Yeah.
Now, we're going to go from the field to the court.
To the court, yeah. So it's nice that we put the NFL and CFL between the NHL and NBA. So we have a little bit of a break from basically which is going to be a repeat script of what you went through with the NHL. I'm going to be completely honest. We had 3 total transactions in the last week for the NBA. We had Jeremy Sochan signing a 1-year deal with the Trailblazers.
Okay.
We had Gary Payton II signing a 1-year, $3.9 million deal with the Warriors. So he's going back to play with Golden State. And then Draymond Green signed a 1-year, $27.7 million deal with the Warriors. Why is Draymond Green getting paid more than LeBron James? I will never know. I will never understand that signing. Well, I will understand that signing. I will never forgive the fact that Philadelphia got away with absolute theft, and they might just get a championship out of it because LeBron went, you know who needs a championship? Meanwhile, the Raptors are getting completely screwed over because Adam Silver can't conduct a proper investigation, and there's a good chance that this Kawhi investigation is going to go into 2027.
So
That means
we
that-
don't get Kawhi.
There's a good chance we just don't.
And then we haven't been able to make a single move this offseason because of it.
Because the Raptors have basically been told, hey, if you trade for Kawhi Leonard, you get to suffer any of the repercussions that come with whatever the investigation, on however the investigation unfolds. The Clippers have publicly stated, they don't mind keeping Kawhi Leonard and dealing with the consequences. So the Clippers are fine with the trade going through or the trade not going through. The Raptors have not been allowed to make anything else, like any other moves, and are in this really just awkward situation and are basically just locked to hey, you can't do anything and you probably won't even get the one move you made. And Adam Silver needs to be fired. Because what do you mean? It has been almost 3 years. Maybe it's only been 2, but point being, this quote unquote investigation has been going on for years. And now all of a sudden he's just like, you can't do that because you're the one Canadian team, so screw you. Yeah, you know what? Get off your high horse. We need a new commissioner anyways. Now, that's my biased rant. That's the signings. There are still a few free agents that
I still can't believe some of the names on this list.
Oh yeah, no, there are some big names on this list. And I only have the top 8, but even all of them, I'm just like, why? How are they not on teams? So I'll start off with kind of the least, I guess, important one, Bradley Beal. He's at the tail end of his career. He only played 6 games last season for the Clippers, in which he averaged 8 points and 2-ish assists.
Yeah.
He didn't play the entirety of the season prior. He's been injury prone. He's at the end of his career, and he just isn't that guy.
Yeah.
Right? He is a guy that I would not be surprised if just doesn't get any offers and then retires.
Yeah.
The other 7 of these guys are all guys that have a lot to give, and I'm genuinely shocked that they are still on the table. DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
In 77 games with the Kings last year, he averaged 18 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal to go along with shooting splits of 50%, 32%, and 87%.
That's some solid numbers.
He's like 36.
Hey, if you can hoop, you can hoop.
If you can hoop, you can hoop. But he is one. He's not like at the top of the list of scorers in NBA history, but he's up there. And as a guy who made his entire career on mid range and 2-pointers and not 3-pointers, that's a lot more impressive to be up there, right? And as he's gotten older, he has developed defensively. He's developed playmaking wise, and he is a veteran presence. The fact that nobody has picked him up is beyond me. Now, at the start of the offseason, I really wanted the Raptors to pick him up because I was just like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. Get Kawhi, get DeRozan for your bench because you need that spot anyways. But since the Raptors are kind of headlocked right now, I'm not surprised. James Harden is still on the table.
Here's my thing with James Harden.
Mhm.
I have for years heard the name James Harden.
Oh, yeah.
He's not part. There, he had his years where he was part of the elite,
Oh, yeah.
but now he's back
One
down-
step below.
Yeah.
He's back to the star caliber.
Yeah.
And every year, I hear the same thing in the beginning of every season. Is this the season that James Harden is washed?
Yeah.
And,
And then
every
he-
year,
and
James
then he's
Harden
not.
goes, hold my beer and hold my beard.
Here's the thing. He's still the same player he was years ago, just older, a little slower, and slightly less efficient.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of averaging 35, like a 35-point triple-double, he's
Yeah.
playing 70 games, which is still impressive. That's 72 of the 82 potential games in a season. Mind you, split between the Clippers and the Cavaliers. He averaged 24 points per game, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and a steal. And his shooting numbers aren't awful. Like, he shot 43%, which is a little bit low, but, like, guards tend to have slightly lower shooting percentages. He shot 37.5% from 3 and 88 from the line. He is still a guy that can contribute a lot. I think the issue is that no team is willing to offer him what he wants. So I think what's going to happen is that we're going to get sort of like near the end of the offseason, and it's going to kind of just be a re-signing with the Cavaliers.
Mhm.
Especially since the Cavaliers kind of gave up a whole lot just to get him. And for them to let him walk would be a real
Let down to the fans.
yeah,
really.
a real shot to any of their chances. Jonathan Kuminga is still on the table in 36 games. He averaged 12 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's young. He's 23, I think. 24, maybe.
Oh, so he still has a lot
Oh
to
yeah,
give.
he is one of the most athletic specimens in the league, and he showed signs of figuring out, but he's obviously young, right? There's the inconsistency, there's the not quite NBA maturity, so I'm not surprised that people haven't been jumping to sign him, but he's got a place somewhere. He has a place on these teams.
Raptors.
Yeah, maybe. Benedict Mathurin, in 54 games last year, he averaged 17.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Solid game. It's not game, so solid season.
So,
He split it between Indiana and the Clippers. He was dealt to the Clippers in that midseason trade.
so I've been trying to, because I'm not the big basketball guy
Yeah.
like you, but I've been trying to understand these stats. Is that stat line as a starter or off the bench?
Here's the thing, is that a number of these players have kind of split time between starts and coming off the bench.
Okay.
So DeRozan, most of those games are starts. Harden, all of those games are starts. Kuminga is kind of split. I think he had like 16 starts and 20 off the bench. Mathurin was kind of 30 starts, 24 off the bench.
Okay.
Though the stats that you see on our notes here, those are just their season stats.
Okay.
So Mathurin sort of averaging almost 18 points a game, even as a starter, is pretty good. The issue with him is the efficiency. He's shooting 43% from the field and 31.5 from 3. And as a guard, that is not great. And the thing is that he's got the athletic potential to be a good defender. It's just he doesn't seem to have the mentality for it.
Okay.
Now he's kind of in that boat of Jonathan Kuminga of like teams could pick him up and they could fit them in their roster anywhere, right? Young guy, a lot of upside. Peyton Watson is another very young guy with a lot of upside. He played for Denver this last year. I think it was his 3rd season. He played 54 games, averaged 14 and a half points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and as a guard, averaged 1.1 blocks per game. He is one of the best blocking guards in the league, which says a whole lot, but also doesn't really matter that much. There's always been that discourse between blocking stats and actual like rim protectors. And the thing is like you can be a guard that blocks a lot of shots, sure, but what teams are looking for is actual like rim protectors, like big guys that actually make people change shots at the rim.
So people that kind of like force them on their off shot.
Yeah, exactly. They might not get the block every time, but like right, like a Rudy Gobert,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of what he does, like sure he's got his blocks and a lot of them, but a lot of what he does is you drive to the paint, you see him and you go, I have to change something now.
Yeah.
Right? That's a rim protector.
He basically like forces the attacker to be like, well, I can't go to my normal shot. I have to try to my secondary shot.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say that, Peyton Watson as a guard getting blocks is a bad thing. It's just they shouldn't be as much of a focal point as some people have made. Now, the thing about Peyton Watson is that he is a young guard who has been playing in the Denver Nuggets system for the last few years and has shown that even as a young player, he can run an offense. The shooting is getting a bit better. Actually, not a bit better, a lot better. He shot 49% and 41% from 3. So the shooting is there. And if a team can really sort of like bring him in and sort of build him up, he's going to be a good player in this league.
Okay.
Now, the last 2 key free agents I have, Russell Westbrook.
He's still playing?
He's still playing, and he's still putting up numbers. In 64 games, he put up 15 points, almost 7 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and almost a steal and a half on 43% shooting and 34% from 3, which is pretty good for him, for his standards. Did struggle from the free-throw line a bit, only shot 69%. Usually he's kind of an 82-85% kind of guy, but
okay. So off year or just
off year for age, I would assume. But he's another Sacramento Kings player from last year that showed that he's got a lot still left in the tank, and anybody could really sort of use a point guard like that. The only thing with him is that the inconsistencies that we saw from the younger Westbrook are even more apparent in the older Westbrook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So a little turnover prone, kind of needs the ball and the system around him to really be effective. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a team out there who's willing to kind of like bring him in and make him sort of like a half focal point of their almost. Hawks could use that. That's actually not a bad guess.
Pay attention.
Now, the surprise of free agency. Jalen Duren is still unsigned. Like, the second scoring option on the top team in the East, Jalen Duren.
Detroit doesn't want to sign him again?
I don't know what's going on. He averaged nearly 20 points a game and nearly 11 rebounds a game during the regular season and shot 65% from the field and 75% from the free-throw line. The issue was his postseason.
Well, was he just quiet?
Oh, he was garbage. Genuine. If he played even half decently, Detroit probably makes it to the finals.
Okay.
He was a big reason why Orlando pushed them to 8 games to 7 games. He averaged 10 points a game in the postseason and only 8 rebounds.
Okay.
And he went from a 65% field goal shooter to I think a 57% field goal shooter. And his free throw percentage dropped to sub 70. Like, this is a guy who's in his 3rd or 4th year in the league. He's been playing with Cade Cunningham both of their whole careers, essentially. And really, the two of them have kind of been building up this Detroit Pistons team as the duo. And they have this really good year, and then he just disappears in the postseason. And now, that puts Detroit in a really weird spot. Because if you look at just the regular season numbers, they would have been willing to offer him a very big contract.
Yeah.
Practically the Supermax.
Yeah.
With that postseason,
he's gonna have to take a pay cut.
Yeah, but he's not gonna want to.
No.
But Detroit's not gonna be willing to pay him that much. But no other team is gonna be willing to pay him that much for what he just did, right?
But he's taking a pay cut where
he kind of has to. It's just a matter of when he accepts that he needs to.
It's a ego thing.
Yeah, and he's one, and like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy with a lot of ego, right? Like he seems like a good guy and whatnot, but it's just kind of one of those things where the longer he drags this out, there's a chance that he just doesn't get signed. And that's really a shame for a player as good as him.
That
Now,
would be real unfortunate, honestly.
yeah. So the NBA's got a weird list of free agents that are still available. Now, mind you, we are still a couple months away from the season starting, so there's still plenty of time. It's more just the fact that these guys are on the table at all.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the MLB and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had a good week.
More wins than losses.
More wins than losses. We've both been busy. I mean, all three of us have been busy this past week. I didn't really keep up with the Jays sort of on a day-to-day basis this week. So when I looked at their schedule and saw that we went 4-2 in 6 games this past week, I was kind of shocked.
You told me that.
Maybe we shouldn't be following them.
Yeah. Maybe we just ignore them every week. They'll start winning.
It's actually funny because you told me that, and I was like, no, we didn't. And I watched 3 Blue Jays games this week, and we won 3 games. And I was like, hold on a minute.
So going back to July 28th, we do lose to the Nationals 6-8. But
Close one.
competitive close game.
At least we put up some runs.
Springer had a home run and 3 RBIs. The guy we all love to hate, and for a very good reason, Brendan Little, actually had a decent outing in relief. He pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 0 hits, 0 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts.
Can't be mad at that.
I cannot be mad at that. It does come in the loss, but it's weird because seeing a good stat line from him has been a rarity.
It's basically been a unicorn.
Yeah. July 29th, 5-2 win against the Nationals. Trey Savage pitches 6 2/3, allows 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts. Solid game from the young kid. Okamoto went 3 for 5 with
Big
a
Oak.
double and 2 RBIs.
Big Oaks.
Oh, I love that name, Big Oak. It's so like,
We follow that one up with another win on the 31st, 3-1 against the Cardinals. Cease, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. A solid start coming off of his complete game from the other week. Arias came in as a pinch hitter, and in his one at-bat, he got 2 RBIs.
he's basically the reason after
Yeah.
Cease, love my boy, that we won.
He came in to pitch hit later in the game and got 2 RBIs off it. 1 for 1.
You can't ask more than that from the pitcher.
Really can't. Valenzuela went 3 for 4 in this game. August 1st, 5-1 win against the Cardinals. Springer had himself a game. 2 for 4, a double and 2 RBIs.
Is Springer finally being the Springer we all know and love?
He seems to be picking it up again. Kirk went 1 for 2 and had 2 RBIs. Now, the next player I'm going to name in this stat breakdown of this game is a bit bittersweet, and we'll get into that in a few moments here. Gossman went 5 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts.
Not the best crowd control, but he managed to
He got out of the jams.
exactly.
He got out of the jams. August 2nd, we get just flipped on. Instead of winning 5-1, we lose 1-5 against the Cardinals. Max Scherzer actually pitched a phenomenal game. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts.
If we can have Scherzer and like put him at the alternating 5,
Yeah.
like 5A, 5B, make him pitch every like 10th game. I don't care. If we can have Scherzer like this every 10th game, I would not be complaining at all.
Yeah. No, our relief pitchers just did not help us this game. 4 earned runs in the 3 innings that Scherzer didn't pitch is tough. Arias did have a decent outing. He went 1 for 3, had a double and an RBI. And then to end the week, we beat the Astros 3-1.
Yeah.
Shane Bieber, he pitched 5 2/3, did allow 9 hits, but only 1 earned run, and did have 6 strikeouts.
So again, the same thing as
Uh,
that Gosman.
Another crowd control issue. Miles Straw went 2 for 3, had a double and a stolen base, and had probably one of the funniest catches of the season so far, where he robbed a home run, but was so nonchalant about it that the guy ran the bases.
Thinking he had a home run.
And then Miles Straw just kind of pops the ball out of his mitt, tosses it to somebody else, and then just runs off.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny from Miles Straw. I think the commentators call that the allowed out, if
Yeah.
you will. The Jays' upcoming schedule is a little odd. So they had a game tonight against the Astros, and we'll finish the series against the Astros tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then on August 6th, they play the Chicago Cubs
Is this like just a makeup
for
game?
one game. This might be the makeup game from a month or so ago. I know there was a couple
Okay.
canceled games, but it's just one game against the Cubs.
Means they weren't able with all the stadiums and everything to kind of settle in. This was kind of their
Yeah.
only way to do it.
Then they go on against the Phillies in Philadelphia Phillies. No,
Yeah.
is it the Philadelphia
Oh
Phillies?
yeah, it's the Philadelphia
the
Phillies.
Philly Phillies. Yeah, they're going to head to Philadelphia for a 3-game series against Phillies, the August 7th through 9th. And then they go to Boston for a 4-game series against the Red Sox, August 10th through 13th.
Damn.
Now, usually we go on to my favorite part of the MLB segment, which is the injury report.
It's not my favorite part. I can
And
tell
that
you
is exactly why it's my favorite part, because I get to see you squirm. That is being replaced this week. We had the trade deadline, which was yesterday.
We were basically the busiest team.
Yeah, which I almost didn't feel like we were the busiest, but looking back on just how many moves were actually made, we made a lot. I am just going to rip a couple of these band-aids off. We traded Gossman. He's headed to Chicago for infielder Ty Southicini. He is the number 10 prospect in the Cubs rotation. And outfielder Brett Bateman, who's the number 21 prospect in the Cubs kind of system. So I think both of us can agree, Miggy. We really did not get a lot from
I was
Gossman.
expecting way more from God.
I was hoping a bit more. But all of our other moves, we came out on the plus.
I think so.
Dalton Varsho is headed to Houston.
Yeah, but like when you have a pitcher named Spencer Arrighetti, which his nickname is Spaghetti, I'm okay with it.
Varsho gets dealt to Houston for starting right-handed pitcher Spencer Arrighetti. Spaghetti. Now, this was a very weird transaction, not because of the transaction itself, but because of how it lined up with the schedule. Yeah. Seeing as the Jays and Astros had a game yesterday, and both teams were in Houston, so Varsho took the walk down the hallway to the Astros club room, and Arrighetti took the walk down the hallway to the Blue Jays dress room. So
you think they stopped in the middle of each other to ask for directions?
hey man, I've been here for years. I don't know where the away locker room is. But it was weird though watching that game, seeing Varsho in the Astros jersey, and I think I think you pointed out something. There was a Springer hit, and Springer bloops out to his friend Dalton Varsho.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, Springer hits and it goes to the center field, and his friend Varsho picks it up, and you're like, never thought I'd hear that.
Bittersweet. Actually, I'm going to go back to Gossman for a second. Gossman's next start lines up to be against the Jays.
Dang.
So we were just the guys that we're dealing are just going to play against us right away. Jeff Hoffman is no longer a Blue Jay. Jeff Hoffman is gone.
Should have dealt little.
He is headed to the Minnesota Twins for starting right-handed pitcher Desan Hill, who is the number 8 prospect in the Twins organization. We also got a starting/relief right-handed pitcher John Klein, who is the number 29 prospect in the Cubs system. Not quite sure how that works.
Feeder team, maybe.
And then we also got second baseman Demary Pena. We got a decent haul for Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we got more for Hoffman than we did for Gossman.
We don't ask questions.
Varsho.
Yeah. Well, Varsho, we got a legit starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Like Spaghetti, Spaghetti, we could just put in Cease Spaghetti. Is that
okay?
Right, like we can just put him in.
The only problem I have with Spaghetti is that he can be a little inconsistent at times, but I got a good feeling about this guy.
We did deal Mako, which I wasn't expecting. He's headed to Texas for infielder Josh Smith and starting right-hand pitcher Josh Steffen. Those are sort of like the main guys we dealt those for. Yeah. We do bring in Jose Soriano, who's a starting right-handed pitcher. We acquired him from the Angels for prospects Arjun Namala, Eddie Micheletti Jr., and
Wait.
Angel Rivera.
As Jay is typing, we shall continue, I suppose.
And the last
Oh,
sort of transaction that we made was we brought in Jameson Taillon, who's another starting pitcher,
Yeah.
right-handed pitcher, from Chicago for cash and players to be named later.
We have an Indian in the MLB.
Oh, okay, that's what Jay's excited about. So the Jays were very busy, extremely busy. They, however, do not own the rights to the blockbuster deals of this trade deadline. And the last one, me and Miggy might go on a tangent about. So, Adley Rutschman is headed to the Boston Red Sox.
you know what? For the Red Sox, that is great. He played well with the O's.
Well, he played great. He was
Exactly.
their cornerstone.
Exactly.
Like he was their guy. Drafted
Catcher,
him first,
right?
yeah, captured. Drafted
Yeah.
him first overall like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So
And the Orioles are just gave up on him.
I guess so. Either that, or maybe this year's having an off season and they just pulling the trigger a little too fast. Now for the Red Sox,
It's a great
nice,
move.
nice fleece, I guess.
It's a great move.
Now,
The move of the summer, and the move that might cancel MLB next year. Tarek Skubal is headed to the Los Angeles Dodgers for a bag of chips. And when I say a bag of chips, I kind of quite literally mean it. I think it's for 3 prospects.
open or closed?
Oh no, it's open half empty.
Okay.
Like they
And
like
crunched up.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is open half empty. Somebody like dropped it out of their car and I got ran over a few times. Do we just hand the World Series to the Dodgers now? That question can be answered later, but
Just a quick question. Do they have like an upper limit of
No.
spending?
No,
no.
it's however the
The MLB is the only league of the Big 4 North America that does not have neither a salary floor or salary cap.
there are players on the Dodgers that make more than the whole roster of the A's.
Otani.
Yeah. No. The MLB teams and how much they spend is purely based on how much their owners are willing to spend. That's it.
So you can literally just buy a championship.
And when you're the city of Los Angeles, where everybody wants to go play, it doesn't take a whole lot of convincing.
And your owner owns 5 other sports team and a
Mhm.
league.
And a VTuber agency.
Yeah.
which is like-
So it's gonna be fun not watching baseball next year.
yeah.
As if the Blue Jays being garbage this year wasn't enough. Now we also get to see the Dodgers win another championship and then just ruin the entire sport.
Yeah.
And that is without exaggeration. Like I wish I was joking. I am not. And quite frankly, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So we're going to move on to the Women's Pro Baseball League.
Yeah, so this only happens for 1 month. It's short. They all play in the same place for the next month just to cut on costs for the league. I kind of like that move. That means the league wants to make money as well. And at the same time, it cuts travel. It cuts players being tired. Everybody's on the same kind of memo. So the team's names are all inspired by women that did big things. So the Boston Hunters was inspired by Harriet Hunt, that became the first woman to professionally practice medicine in the U.S. But she did get rejected twice by Harvard Medicine School, just because she was a woman. That's a no bueno, man.
That's how history goes. That's how history goes. But I do just want to interject for a second. This kind of started last week where one of our faithful fans and fellow roommates decided that she wanted to give us a bit of a hand with some of the women's sports.
Yep.
We are 3 dudes at a table with a mic. And women's sports just by and large does not get the I guess, spotlight that it should, especially nowadays. So she's going to be helping us learn more about some of these women's leagues. And
She kind of crushing it.
she crushing it. She's given us a lot to work with here. And yeah, I just wanted to point out that going forward, this is going to be I guess, almost focal point of the podcast. Of when we first sort of set out to do this podcast, one of the key factors we wanted was to introduce, new leagues or new sports to, any listeners out there that might not otherwise, have been drawn to it or found out. And introducing more women's sports, I think, is very important. And this will be something going forward.
So yeah, listen up. Inspired by Lizzie Muff. Okay, I'm gonna stop that because that's gonna hurt my throat.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles are now the Los Angeles Queens, inspired by Lizzie Murphy. Murphy was nicknamed the Queen of Diamonds, so the name is pretty much self-explanatory because she shattered the barriers in professional baseball during a time when women had very few opportunities. Because there used to be a league way back when in like World War II. The New York Height, inspired by Dorothy Height. She was one of the most influential leaders of the civil rights and women's rights movement, dedicating her life to equality. So that's a good homage to that Dorothy. And then the San Francisco Firebell is inspired by Lily Hitchcock Colt, known as Firebell Lil. As a teenager, she famously joined volunteer firefighters to help fight a fire on Telegraph Hill, becoming an icon. So San Francisco firefighters, while openly defying traditional gender roles. Opening weeks, we got some high-scoring game, folks. LA Queens beat the New York Heights 10-8. The game had the league's first ever strikeout, as well as the first home run that was by Deanne Bennett. Now, people know Deanne Bennett due to her being on the Party Animals in that league that the
The Savannah Bananas.
Exactly.
And Tailgaters and all them.
Yeah. As well as San Francisco Firebells absolutely destroy Boston Hunters 11-3.
I mean, that's one thing that'll never change in sports is the absurdity of blowouts.
Exactly. Now, is it just because the Hunters are the bottom of the pack and the Firebells are the top of the pack? So the next game that the Firebells play will be against either the Queens or the New York Heights, and we'll know then what it is, or if the Hunters just had a bad game.
Yeah. And baseball is so chance based that it could be anything, really.
And that's pretty much all we have right now for the Women Pro Baseball League, as the league just started.
Yeah.
August 1st was the first game, so we'll be making sure to cover that the next following month, as I said, because I'm pretty sure it is only for a month.
Mm-hmm. Before we get on to our North American soccer, I do want to just quickly go over the MLR. It's been done for a few weeks. And just going forward for the MLR, they are hoping that the 2020 season will kind of be a season of rebuilding and a season of stabilization. One thing that the MLR has kind of been struggling with over the last few years is franchises kind of being in and committing, but then pulling out.
Okay.
So I would like to continue covering the MLR, and hopefully this upcoming year is a year of growth and stabilizing.
So, just so I understand, are they trying to expand?
Or not specifically. No.
Or are they just trying to make sure that the teams that they have can continue?
They're trying to make sure that the franchises they have and the owners of those franchises are willing to invest long term.
Okay.
Because a lot of the past few seasons has been a lot of sort of like 1-year contracts with franchises. And this coming year, they're really hoping to get just sort of long-term commitment.
Like 4 to 5.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure the league actually has a future to kind of play towards.
Yeah.
As opposed to playing 1 year and having no idea if we're going to have anything more.
Okay. Yeah, that's all.
That's all I got.
I just didn't want to cut you off because I know you like your rugby. So
no, you are free to go on your North American soccer rant.
You ready?
Nope.
We had some games
On Saturday.
Only Saturday. And there was a lot of draws. So Montreal ties New England 2-2. DC ties Nashville 2-2. Now, the reason why this DC game was kind of shocking to me is Nashville's top of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
They are like top 3 team. DC is like mid-pack at best. So the fact that DC was able to take 2 points away from Nashville is immense for the other teams fighting on top. Now, that doesn't really help San Jose when you lose 4-2 to Cincinnati, but who cares? At least you only have 1 point now to make up. Miami ties with Columbus 2-2. Philly beats Atlanta 3-2. Red Bull New York beats Orlando 3-2, and Orlando again is one of the tougher teams to beat. Vancouver beats LAFC. That's 1-1. I don't know why I said beat. I'm so confused now. Anyways, Chicago beats 2-1 Charlotte. Minnesota and San Diego tied at 1. Scouting Kansas City loses to Houston 2-0. St. Louis and Real Salt Lake lose. Why do I keep saying lose?
Draw.
Draw yourself.
Yeah.
1-1.
Draw 1-1. Colorado wins 1-0 against Austin. LA and Dallas are tied at zips, and Portland wins 2-1 against Seattle. We're kind of getting into the end of the season for the MLS. Teams like Nashville can't really afford draws or losses, and San Jose as well. So it's kind of a figure out, or we might lose a spot here, and like every spot is important at the end of the day. Now, if we go to the Canadian Premier League, they actually had 5 games this week, and Chris, there's a blowout.
Oh, lovely.
Cavaliers
Cavaliers.
win 2-1 against Supra de Quebec on the 28th. And then on the 29th, whoa.
No.
I don't know what I wrote there. July 28th was the Friday.
Mhm.
And then July 25th was the Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So Cavalier won 2-1 against Supra on the 25th. Pacific lost against Supra on the 28th, 2-1. So Supra got mad. On Saturday, Vancouver FC beats Ottawa 3-1, and then Cavalier beats Toronto 5-0.
Yeah, that's a blowout.
It was
yes,
1-0.
Yes.
It was 1-0 after the first half. And then the Cavs were like, all right, 3 goals in 17 minutes. They score in the 51st. So fresh out the gates.
Oh, yeah.
On the 61st and 68th. And then, oh,
Literal words.
how can you think to win with 1 shot on target on a total of 5 shots?
That I don't think they thought they were going to win. I think they knew they were going to lose.
Cavalier had 17 total shots. 7 on target.
Yeah.
And then somehow Halifax tied with Forge 0-0.
Okay, that's almost more surprising. The 5-0, what? What do you mean for true?
The Wanderers wandered into a draw.
Hey, man. Anything's possible, I guess.
Now, the NWSL, which is the National Women's Soccer League, there is also a blowout. North Carolina Courage beat Orlando Pride 5-0.
Oh, we're starting with the blowout.
So that's the first one. 5-0.
Okay, starting the week off hot.
August 1st, Louisville beats Chicago 2-1. KC Current and Angel City FC are tied at 1. Houston Dash versus Gotham. Gotham took this one 1-0. And then Seattle Reign FC beat Bay FC 3-2. On August 2nd, Washington loses to San Diego 1-0. And then the Utah Royals absolutely cakewalk Portland Thorns 5-1.
Oh, we got 2 blowouts.
Oh, we got some blowups.
Okay.
And then-
I like it. I like it.
You can tell he's a rugby guy. And then
Hey, I like my high score differences. Just look at the berries.
Denver Summit and Boston Legacy tied at 1. Now, we have some upcoming games because, as always, season's not over.
See, it ain't done until it's done.
Yeah. So, August 5th, Denver will be playing North Carolina. You know, the North Carolina that just won 5-0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then on August 7th, Orlando will be playing versus Louisville, and Gotham will be playing versus San Diego. On the 8th, Denver will be playing Utah. Utah is the team that just beat
5-1.
5-1 Portland.
So, Denver's going against the 2 teams that just put up 5 spots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
2
Denver's
days
having
apart.
a rough week.
Yeah, Denver's being set up, man.
And then Washington's playing against North Carolina. Houston will be playing against KC. Boston versus Portland on the 9th. Chicago versus Bay. And Seattle versus Angel City. Here are the current standings. And I'm impressed because the last time we did this, Boston was last.
They ain't too far from the last anyways.
Hey, so Gotham at 1.
Yeah.
Washington at 2. Utah at 3. And San Diego at 4. KC at 5. Portland at 6. And North Carolina at 7. Angel City at 8, Seattle at 9, Orlando at 10th, Denver at 11, Boston at 12, Houston at 13, Bay at 14, Louisville at 15, and Chicago Stars at 16.
Rough.
So there has been a lot of movement in the standings. Now, to our smaller league.
But more at home.
More at home, you are right. On the 28th, Toronto beat Calgary 1-0. And then Vancouver on the 29th could not beat the Montreal. 4-3 is the loss for Vancouver. What? You want another blow up, bud?
I'm looking at the notes. That's not a typo.
No.
Toronto beat Calgary 6-0 on August 1st.
I like my 5s. I like my 6 even better.
On August 3rd, then, Ottawa beat Halifax 3-2. Upcoming games, Montreal versus Halifax, Vancouver versus Calgary, and Ottawa versus Toronto. Now, I was not expecting this detailed of a damn table. I'm not going to lie.
She outdid herself.
Our
Oh, yeah.
researcher is legit. So, in first place is Ottawa with 34 points. Every club has 14 match played. Ottawa is 11-2-1. They have a goal differential of plus 16. Montreal is in second with 27 points. They are 8-3-3 with a goal differential of 12. Toronto is in third with 24. They're 7-4-3 with a goal differential of 11. Halifax is in fourth with 17 points with a record of 5-7-2 and a differential of plus 2. Vancouver is fifth with 16 points, 5-8-1 with a goal differential of minus 11. And Calgary. Calgary has not won a game. They are 0-12-2
Oh boy.
and have a negative 30 goal differential.
They haven't even scored double-digit goals on the season.
No.
They have scored 9 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have more games played than they have goals.
yeah. They have more losses than goals.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. The only movement in the standings was Halifax and Vancouver kind of swap places.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
in 4th and 5th. But I'm just staring at this Calgary stat. Wow.
Yeah.
Who drew with them? Who's at fault for drawing with the Calgary? Guys.
I think that's
Wait,
good.
I think it's
ladies,
Montreal or Toronto.
Ladies, women. What?
I think it might be Montreal or Toronto.
Oh my goodness. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that Halifax has a positive goal differential when they have a negative record.
They score.
And they do. They 100% do. They
Yeah.
just-
It's no, it's interesting. Minus 30 is diabolical. Like, damn.
We're talking in football terms here too. It's insane.
Yeah, that's
Like, if you're a minus 30 in American football, it's like, okay,
Not
two
that
bad
bad.
games.
2 bad games.
Minus 30 in football is like
The fuck happened?
demotion.
That's bad.
I've had you're minus 30 in hockey after 14 games, your coach is getting fired.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Your coach is getting fired, and you're getting your roster shuffled.
Yeah. So I hope Calgary gets for next year maybe some help.
Yeah, this season's a
But
wash.
like just number 1, 34 points. Number 2, 27 points. Number 3, 24 points. Number 4, 17 points. Number 5, 16.
Still like really valid up until that point. You're like, okay, some difference between first and last, and then you're like,
Number
no, we don't
6,
have last.
number 2.
2 points is
2.
Yeah.
2 draws. They don't even have enough points for a victory. Put that on a shirt.
Usually when you're at the end of like not even end, like mid-season, you look at like point totals or something, you're like, and like before you see the record, you're like, I wonder how they got to those points, how many wins, losses, and your draws and stuff. You look at them and you're like, oh, I know exactly what their record
They
is.
sub more than they get points.
Oh no. Oh man, I don't often like clowning on teams, especially if you're struggling that much. But holy, like, what's going on? What's management doing? They need help.
Speaking of help, I need help with somebody explaining to me the NASCAR point system while they're on break.
Well, I mean, we read it up. It's 55 to first, 35 to second, and then everybody else after is like a point less until they get down to 2.
Yeah.
And then they get some. They get some points depending on like the stages of the race.
Yeah.
I think each race has 3 stages,
Yeah.
and then
3 or
and
4.
the 3 or 4, and then the top 10 teams in each stage get descending from 10 to 1 like bonus points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, NASCAR's on break, so we don't have any North American motorsports.
All right.
Vroom.
Our boys on wheels are taking a slight gas break.
Yeah, so that's, I think, it for the North American.
Other than if Miggy's going to hit me with I got a discussion, boys. With that being said, thank God for editing. None of you will be the wiser, so why I say that. But, North American episode, I think, has come to a close. You, anything else?
Nah, I learned from last time.
You, anything else?
I learned from this time.
Perfect. I got nothing else because if I say anything more, I'm going to say something wrong. So we're going to turn the mic off now before that happens.